Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today is another collection video where I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of my makeup brushes. This is where I house them. If you guys saw my beauty room tour, I do house them in these little quads, these acrylic quads I had picked up from TJ Maxx. And amongst the chaos, I kind of have them organized in my head the way that I use them, like powder brushes over here, like all foundation brushes together, eyes over here, things like that. So I thought I would go ahead and share with you guys my makeup brush collection. So let's go ahead and get started because I have no idea how long this is going to take because as you can see, I have an overwhelming amount of brushes and trying to clean them is like a long ass process. So luckily these are all clean. I did spend the time on Sunday cleaning all of them so I could show you guys. So over here, like I said, is like mostly foundation brushes in this side. So the first one I have is the Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. And like I said, I organize them by like what goes together in my mind, not by brand. So I am going to be jumping around a lot between brands, but I have the Flat Top Kabuki, which I use for foundation and for like liquid bronzers. I have the Morphe E36 Brush, which I got recently, and I love this. I have not been able to stop using it. I love it so much and have been using it like crazy with my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. Another foundation brush I got recently was the Morphe M44 Brush. I really like this one. It gives you a very flawless, beautiful coverage with your foundation. The only place I don't really like using it is around the nose area. I feel like it doesn't cover well there, but on the face, like for buffing in your foundation, gorgeous. Like gives it a really gorgeous, flawless look. This one was a longtime favorite of mine. I still love it, but this one is pretty darn amazing. So this is the Morphe M439, a foundation brush. Then similar to the other one from Sigma, this is the Flat Top Angled Kabuki F88. I use this one a lot with my Chanel Soleil Day Tan Chanel, whatever that thing is. The Chanel bronzer, I use this one a lot. It's perfect for it. And then I have going along with it the Sigma, what is this one called? Tapered Kabuki F86. This one is perfect for blending in your concealer underneath the eyes. And then my favorite brush to use with my Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, which is my holy grail, is the Marc Jacobs, which one is this? The Face 3 brush. And so I love this one. It gives you a very flawless coverage. And then with the new Tarte products that came out last month, I had picked up some of the brushes as well because I don't have any of the brushes from Tarte. So this was the new, I don't know the name of it, like Complexion, Angled Complexion brush or something, but this kind of was like marketed with the the Hydrogel foundation, so I love that. And this one was marketed with the powder foundation, so I also really love this for buffing in foundation and for any kind of powder. And then the last foundation brush I have is the Morphe S94, which I believe is one of their vegan brushes, and I will use this one a lot for blending in concealer underneath the eyes as well. So let's move those guys over and let's jump into like what I use for like powder and stuff like that. This is just a random brush that came in a pack from Target. I clearly have never even used it. This guy over here is perfect for pretty much anything that has to do with powder products, and this is the Morphe E34 brush. Really perfect for literally any powder, whether you're setting stuff or you're using bronzer, whatever it may be. Then I have the IT Cosmetics number 227 Flawless Blush Brush. This is a really nice brush to, you know, pack on color really densely, and it's very, very soft. I love that one. Another one I use for bronzer and blush is the Morphe E4 brush. It's a nice angled one. This one is really perfect for those new Becca Luminous blushes. And then I have the Sephora, what is this one called? The Pro Contour, which I actually don't use this for contouring. I use this a lot for either highlighting or setting underneath the eyes with powder. This is another one that came in that Up and Up brush set that I don't ever use. This is a MAC 108 brush. This is a really nice blush brush. I like this one a lot with that new Tarte palette that came out. And then the Morphe M527 brush is one I have not been able to stop using lately. Whenever you want a flawless bronzer kind of look or just a subtle contour, this is the brush I use. And I've been using this a lot with the new Too Faced Baked Bronzer. Similar to it, I have the Morphe 523 brush, which I use this when I want a more defined contour, but it's also really, really nice, and it's just, it gives you such a beautiful, flawless, easy, like effortless kind of bronzy glow. I love it. And then I have the Morphe 427 brush, which I'm not that crazy about. I actually think this one kind of has some like tougher bristles. I have a MAC one that I like much better. I also like the e.l.f. one a lot better. This one I'm not a huge fan of. Then probably my favorite blush brush of all time is the Sigma Powder Blush F10 brush. I just love this one. This one's just perfect, classic brush, and it's probably my favorite one to apply blush with. And then I have the Morphe E3 brush, which I also have not stopped using. And this is what I've been setting my powder all over my face with. This brush gives me life. It's so fluffy and cute, and it just reminds me of a little bunny for some reason, like a little cottontail over here. But it's so cute and I love it. Then I have a Sigma Small Contour F05, which is what I use exactly like it sounds for contouring and stuff like that. And then a lot of the times when I've done like contour or bronzer or blush and just need to buff it out a little bit more, I use the Sigma Duo Fiber F80 brush. This one is perfect if you go in a little too intense with anything. This is what I blend it out with. Also, if I use a blush topper, I will go in with this as well, or a very pigmented blush, I'll use this instead so I get a more diffused kind of look and a little bit more subtle. And then from that aquatic line I talked about a lot before, I had gotten the M127 brush just because I love that entire line and it's blue and cute. And then similar to that, the Morphe brush, the E3 I talked about, I also have the IT Cosmetics number 225 Complexion powder, which is very, very similar. This one is actually just a little bit bigger, but I know Morphe has one, you know, very similar to this as well. Then I have the Morphe M107 brush, which is a powder brush. I actually don't like this one either. Similar to the other one I talked about that I don't like. This tends to be like a little bit scratchier. I prefer my Sigma one definitely better than this one. So what I'm talking about is this brush. This is the Sigma Large Powder F30. This one is much better, much softer, and just applies like smoother. That one can be a little patchy. So I definitely like this one for powder brushes as far as, you know, big fluffy brushes. And then I have the MAC 138 brush, which I love for setting underneath the eyes, or for like if I'm doing some kind of like luminous look with like this one I usually like to use with a Hourglass like ambient lighting powder. This one is perfect for that. And then I have a short-handled MAC 129 brush, which is very similar to that same blush brush I love. This one is just little for travel. Okay, and this one is the Morphe M459 brush, which I use to chisel out my contour. And then as far as contouring, I have the NARS Ita brush, cult favorite. I remember years ago when I first picked this up, it was like completely out of stock everywhere and people were like hunting it down, and now it's like so easy to buy, which is funny. But yeah, I've had that one for a long time. And so this last one is the Lorac contour brush that came along with their Pro Contour Kit. So now that was pretty much everything for the face and like powders and foundations and things like that. And so now we will move on to the eyes. Okay, so now moving on to this container, and when it's all empty, I will show you what they look like. I did want to mention the Morphe Bling It On brushes that I had gotten. They're so gorgeous. This was ultra expensive, and I did get 2 of them. The first one was damaged, got a new one back, and still some of the crystals had fallen off, which is a little disappointing, but they are so beautiful, and I have a whole review on them when I first got them months ago. But super cute. As a collector, I was just like, yes, I need these, and you guys know I love bling, so of course I got those. Now let's move on over here. I've kind of organized it where like concealer brushes, correcting blush, keep wanting to say blushes. Brushes are over here. On this side is like fluffier brushes. Here's more like defined blending brushes, and then we have like little precision blushes, you guys. Brushes, including like stuff to apply your actual eyeshadows with. So let's get started. So first over here we have the Morphe E20 brush, which I had recently picked up. I love this one for color correcting and for setting or blending in concealer underneath the eyes. It's perfect. For setting my concealer, my favorite brush ever in the world, which I have not found anything else I love. I have a similar one from Morphe. I still don't love it as much, but this is the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35. Favorite brush in the world for setting my under eyes. And then for blending out underneath the eyes and then applying concealer, either spot concealer or underneath the eyes. This is my new Morphe E25 brush. I've really been enjoying this one. This one was in a haul recently. Here is a Target Up and Up brush. As you guys saw earlier, the 2 brushes that I don't really use from This little pack, this is pretty much what I bought the pack for. This is perfect for applying highlighter, and I think the whole entire pack was like 12 bucks, and I pretty much bought it just for this guy because it's perfect. This is really great for some of those highlighters where you need a more densely packed brush. This is seriously the perfect one. Here is my little Tarte duo-ended brush that I had gotten with my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer. This is definitely one of my favorite brushes to apply concealer as well. This is something new. This was my Morphe M164. This was what I was going to use to contour my nose with. I actually haven't used it. I've only had it for a couple weeks. And then let's see, this is the one that I was talking about that I love. This is the MAC 130 brush. This is a small duo fiber brush. I love this one much more than that Morphe one I talked about that was scratchy. This one is ultra soft. So this one is perfect for like cream highlighters or blending out like specific areas like on the apples of your cheeks or your contour, like things like that. I love this one. And then kind of a dupe for it is this little e.l.f. small stipple brush. If you want like a $2 version versus like, I don't even know how much this one is. Probably like 15 or 20 bucks because it's MAC. So if you want a little dupe, this one is very similar to it. And then this was the other fourth piece that came in that little up and up brush kit, and I do use this one occasionally for concealer or correcting, and so I think that is mostly everything. Oh, one more thing. This is the one that I told you that's a dupe for the Sigma F35, but I still don't love it as much, and this is the Morphe M438. I just find that this end doesn't get like fluffy enough, like it's not used enough to get fluffy, if that makes sense. Like it's not broken in, but this one is good for highlighting as well. So then back here, I have my brushes that I use mostly for like transition shades. I have the Sigma E40, cult favorite. I'm sure everyone uses this brush. I love it. This was just one that was on sale, and whenever the fun colors go on sale, I tend to pick up like the most used brushes, which are my E40 and like a couple other brushes over here. I'll show you, like whenever they're on sale, I'll try to pick them up. And then I have the classic black version of it as well. And then I have the Morphe M333, no, Morphe 330 brush. This is just like another kind of crease brush. I've got the Sigma Small Tapered Blending E45. This is perfect for putting color into the outer V or just right into the crease if you're doing like a diffused cut crease or something like that. That's perfect. I have the Morphe E22. I will say my favorite line from Morphe is definitely the Elite brand. Like, they're so soft and perfect bristles, and I love them. They're easy to clean. Like, I definitely love the Elite line. So this one's really great for a more defined, like, crease or transition color if you're looking for it to be a little more defined than the Sigma E40. And then I have quite a few of like typical white goat-haired blending crease blushes. Blushes, oh my god, brushes. I have the Morphe M441. I have, this one I believe came in an Ipsy bag. It's from Smudge Tash or Smudge Tache, I don't know. And then I have the MAC 217, which is identical pretty much to this Morphe 433 brush. So if you're wanting the MAC 217, is that what it's called? Yeah, 217, then that's a dupe, but I love all of them. They all look pretty much the same, but if I have to pick out brushes to use on my eyes, like which ones are my favorite, these are probably my favorite. I just love goat-haired white blending brushes. They're perfect. Now over here, this is the one time that I made an exception, that I kept all one brand together, and these, actually this is not, this came from an Ipsy bag, but this is the Luxe Beauty or Luxie 221 flat definer brush. But all over here are my Zoeva brushes that I had gotten in a kit. I'm not gonna lie, I bought the entire kit just because I wanted it, because they all had rose gold handles. And they're pink and cute, and I love everything rose gold. So I was like, I need you. Even though they are rather expensive, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you got 12 brushes, but I find that, you know, obviously it was in a foreign currency. They converted it over, blah, blah, blah. I want to say it was like $80 for this kit, so it's kind of expensive, but they're really, really great quality, and I do like them, and they're gorgeous, and I wanted rose gold. I will say I think getting this entire set in rose gold might have been cheaper than getting the Sigma in the copper color, so maybe not quite as expensive as Sigma, but I could totally be wrong. But it also came in this beautiful rose gold makeup brush case, which you could also use as a clutch or something. So perfect for travel. So that's another reason I got it. It was so beautiful. So anyways, this comes in the set. I will try to find a link below of the set of these, because it's going to take too long to go through all these, but I will leave the link down below so you can see all the different brushes that come in it. But it's pretty much every kind of brush you will need to do a perfect eye look, from, you know, underneath the lower lash line to the crease, like the brow bone, like you name it, you can do it with that one. So that is those. And then these are my more defined brushes. Oh, one little guy over here left. This is the Morphe 412, which is another crease blending brush. And so these are more defined, like, eye performing brushes. So let's get started there. This snuck, gosh, I thought it was organized. Some stuff is sneaking in. This is the Sigma Precision Flat Angled P88. I will use this for concealer and blending it in like certain spots, or I will also use it to contour like small areas of the face. So then this guy is my Sigma Soft Focus Shader E52. This is a really good one for just packing on color all over the lid and like just pretty much all over your eye area if you're wanting a fresh base or setting an eye primer. Similar to that, again, I had bought this because it was a fun color, is the Sigma Large Shader E60. I'll use that for the same exact reasons as well. And then I have this Morphe S30 brush. This is really good for this one is really good for packing on colors like foiled eyeshadows or anything that's got like a little bit more of a wet feel to it. This is perfect. Similar to it, my other cult favorite that I love that like I can't live without this brush, this is the MAC 212 brush. This is perfect for everything, whether it's a typical eyeshadow. I will say it's not the best for matte eyeshadows, even though it will work. It's definitely the best for like cream products, for, you know, foiled stuff, Natasha Denona, Makeup Geek, MAC pigments, anything you name it. It's also the perfect brush to spray stuff with setting spray or MAC Fix Plus. Just probably my like holy grail, definitely my favorite brush. You can do so many things with it. You could definitely make it more versatile if you need to. If you needed to do a cut crease, like you could do it. If you needed to do the lower lash line, you could do it. Like there's so many things I could make this brush do. So I love it. Definitely my favorite. A small little precision brush I use to like smoke out the lower lash line is the Morphe E36 brush. Another one that's similar to that I use is the MAC 219 brush. This one is just a white goat hair. Similar to that as well is the Morphe E18, but this one is a little bit denser, so this is more for like after I've gone in with a flat definer brush with a darker color, I go in with a much lighter shade to buff it all out with this one. This little guy is the Morphe E321. This is the most perfect brush for packing on color in the outer V or like the crease. If you want a very defined color, this is perfect for packing on color. Next one is the Sigma I Shading E55. This is just in everyday, like you can pretty much use this brush for anything. I also use it to put color underneath the brow bone. Then I have the Sigma Medium Angled Shading E70 brush. I don't use this one a ton. Like, this is a brush that I got and I'm like, okay, what do I need this one for? I don't know why I got it. It was probably on sale, but this can be, again, used for pretty much anything you want. It's just a little angled. It's very, very soft and fluffy, so this is also one I will use underneath the brow bone. And then my favorite, besides the MAC 212 brush, is the Sigma Medium Sweeper E54. Any kind of color, like matte, cream, whatever it needs to be, this is the perfect brush as well for packing on color. Like anytime I go in to just put a normal palette color on my lid, this is what I use. This is always what I go in with after I've done like my transition shade. So this one and like the MAC 212 are definitely my holy grail brushes. Then I have a MAC 212. I love this one. This is a flat definer. This is perfect for cut crease or for putting color in the lower lash line. Then I have the Morphe 160 brush. This is an angled either brow or eyeliner brush. I don't really care for it. It's a little too long and big to control for eyeliner, but you know, there's so many things you can do with it. Then you have a short shader brush, E20. This is good for packing color all over the lid or for highlighting underneath the brow bone as well. Then I have the Morphe M409. This is my favorite brush for applying cream eyeliner and doing a winged eyeliner. I've done a video with it and it's definitely my favorite one. Morphe E35 is just another little tiny precision brush that you could, this is really perfect for highlighting the inner corners of your eye. Really, really perfect for that. Then we have the MAC 208, another brow or gel eyeliner kind of brush. Then we have the MAC 263, way too big. I don't like this guy. I use this a lot if I'm practicing just because I don't care about it, but I don't really like it that much. Then I have the Sephora Pro Lip. It does come in this nice little case to keep it all clean and sanitary, but this is just a really nice little lip pencil. Not a lip pencil, a lip brush to apply lipsticks with. And then this came in like a Urban Decay, the Vice Reloaded palette, like some little random stuff that I've gotten from Ipsy bags or like that come with like drugstore eyeliners and stuff like that. And then the last one, which I loved applying with my new Tarte clay pots, the Cobalt shade is what I used this brush with the other day. This is the Sigma Eyeliner E05, and this is like a little sample size I got one time when I purchased a bunch of brushes. So this one has a fine little tip, which is perfect for really defining a winged eyeliner. And then, God, this is so janky. And, like, I don't even know. It's Sony Kashuk. I don't even know what the brush is. A 126. Like, I don't know. I use this to comb my eyelashes out if I feel like my mascara is kind of still stuck together from the taking it off and stuff like that. That's what I use. But could it be more janky? It looks like it's missing some teeth. Like, it's so funny. I probably had that one for my entire makeup collection history. So anyways, that is all my makeup brushes. Oh, I wanted to show you the inside of these little guys. Also, this is a fake eyelash applicator that you can apply the false eyelashes with that makes it super easy to get in there, and they're soft and rubbery. Well, they're not soft, but they're rubberized. They're not going to hurt if you accidentally poke yourself like it would with a tweezer. So that's what this guy is. But this is what the inside of those look like. Look at all the bling! It's so cute. So this is what they look like from the side, and then that is the inside. So I love those so much, and I have two of them from TJ Maxx for about $12. Alright guys, that was my entire makeup brush collection. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the products and hearing about them and hearing which ones are my favorite. Let me know in the comment section down below which brushes are your favorites that I mentioned or anything like that. I would love to hear it. So I hope you guys enjoyed another collection video. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos. And I will see you guys tomorrow in another collection video. Bye!